Okay, so let's get started. Remember, you want to get all the technology so you're plugged in. You want to get the Primerica app. If you have already signed up, you want to log into the Primerica app within 24 hours because then immediately, not immediately, but immediately when you get licensed, we'll credit you that $100 back if you pass the test in your field training bonus. You want to download the Telegram app. It's how we communicate. It's how we leave audio and video messages and all the announcements. Obviously, you guys are all on Zoom. You want to have Zoom, Google Drive, and you can email Thomas Barnes. I'll send his email to the chat, and then you can get all the PowerPoints, all the scripts, all the previous PowerPoints, all the presentations. We have documents of all insurance policies from other companies, so you can look them up. SoundCloud, where you can look, get Primerica audios, and obviously you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, so let's talk about filling the pipeline and developing your market. So I see my friend Betty up here, and I will use you, Betty, because you have your video on, and you asked me a very important question yesterday, and I think a lot of people have this question, so I just unmuted you. Thanks, Betty. You asked me a question yesterday in regards to building the list, and do you remember the question you asked me?
Yes. Do I have to ask a permission?
Okay, you did ask me that. But even before that, I said, hey, Betty, have you built your list yet? And you go, I haven't started working on it.
Not yet.
And she said it very innocently. You said, curiously, okay, so there wasn't any passive aggressiveness in this, okay? I'm gonna make it seem passive aggressive, but it wasn't. It was very, just like I said, innocent, just that. And she goes, why do I need the list? Okay, why do I need the list? Like I said, really, genuinely, sincerely asking it, not like why in an accusatory way, not like you're trying to get my names and numbers from me way. Just, can you explain it to me? I'm having trouble connecting the dots. Why do I need the list? Okay, I thought that was a great question, and I want to open up with that, and I want to talk about that because, see, if I played sports growing up, right? And I know there's some people in here that probably played sports. I played basketball, and I love playing basketball. And I was always the point guard because I was a little bit smaller, undersized, but I had a very good mind for basketball, and I could dribble very well. And in basketball, if a player doesn't know why they need to do something, the play doesn't develop, right? If somebody doesn't set a pick, so a person can come off the screen and get an open shot, and they don't know that pick is very important, that person's not going to set the screen properly, the person's not going to get open, and then you can't make a shot. Okay, now obviously you don't understand basketball, the reference isn't going to make sense for you, but hopefully you understand a little bit of what I'm saying. You got to understand why. And I thought that was a great question. Okay, why do you need a list? So if I ask Betty how you're going to get trained, and outside of the license and the classroom training, how are you going to get trained, Betty? How are you going to learn this?
Searching?
Huh?
Maybe searching?
Okay, you can do some research.
Yes.
What do you think the best way to learn is if I show you how to do it, right? I show you exactly how to present our opportunity. I show you how to answer clients' questions. I show you how statements work and mutual funds and stocks and investments. I show you all that stuff. And if I take Betty to the airport, say I drive you to Dulles Airport. We live in Virginia. Okay, there's an airport right near us. It's Dulles Airport. Say Betty comes in from out of town and I drive her to the airport. She was in the car. She rode to the airport. But if I ask Betty to drive to the airport, she may not know how to do it. Because even if you're in a car and you ride to the airport, it doesn't mean you know how to get there. But if you drive there, you actually learn how to do it. And so we believe the best way to learn how to do this business is with a trainer out in what we call the field. Now, the field previously used to be in person, live meetings. So I take Chelsea out, and Chelsea knows her sister and brother-in-law, and we go out there. I don't know if you have a brother and sister-in-law, but we go out there and we do the appointment, and I do that with your brother and sister-in-law, and you watch me. And I might ask you to say a couple of things. I might say, hey, Chelsea, this person asked this question. How do you answer it? And she's going to fumble it up, and I say, no, that's good try, but here's how you do it. And then on our second and third appointment, I might say, hey, Chelsea, I'm going to let you present the first 2 slides, but I'm going to watch you. And she's going to get really nervous. So I never tell her that before the appointment. I tell her like 2 minutes before, okay? Because then she won't come, right? She'll chicken out, right? And I get it. I was nervous too. I remember when my trainer told me in the car ride over there, I was thinking about jumping out the window. I was like, I'm not presenting. No, I can't do that. And I got so nervous, but you know what? My trainer said, don't worry. I'm going to be right there with you. You're not going to do well. You're going to do terrible, and we'll laugh about it in the car. But I just want to hear how you present and see where you are so I can work with you. And I did it. And you know what? I was terrible. I messed up all the numbers. I was saying, thank God nobody fact checked me. I was saying things that were completely incorrect. But then my trainer went and overlapped me and said, no, this is what he meant. This is this. And you know what? We still got the client. And I was like, wow, man, if I'm this bad and I still can get the client, I can only get better from here. And so that's how your training is going to work. You are going to watch your trainer. Like I did an appointment the other day, and I think my buddy's on here. I don't know if you got your video on, Jacques. But I did an appointment with Jacques, and we sat down with his cousin, and he watched me. Now, we did this virtually because, obviously the pandemic, and then they're a little bit far away from where I live. We did it virtually, but he watched me and he took notes. And afterwards, we talked for a minute. He showed me all his notes, and I asked him if he had questions, and he watched me. And I did all the work. Now he chimed in. He had a few comments, but he was just watching me. We presented the client. We have a follow-up with that client today at 1 o'clock. That's how it's going to work. You are going to do nothing on your own. Nothing. I'm going to hold your hand through everything until, Betty, you say, okay, Shaq, I got it. Let me go. I get it. Okay, you're slowing me up. Now, but before we do the appointments, okay, because this is addition. You got to learn addition before multiplication. First, we have to develop your market. First, we have to see who we're going to see. We have to qualify your list. Listen, and I know there's a lot of new people on here. We don't provide leads, okay? Number one, it doesn't work. I've tried it all, okay? Leads do not work. I've bought leads, and then you're dialing for dollars, you're calling people. The only leads that somewhat work are recruiting leads because so many people are actively looking for work. But people do not really go through, Jacques is from the financial services industry. He worked for an insurance company before here. They did it in the old way. They gave leads. They did that. It doesn't work. You can ask them about it. It goes dry very quickly. It's very little return. Like anything, we work word of mouth. We do a great job for people. We do a great job inspiring people, informing people, educating people, treating people with respect and kindness, meeting them at their level. And then all we ask is that they introduce us to people. But even before that, we have to build your list. Why? Okay, from your list, here's what's going to happen. Here are the potential outcomes that are going to happen. Number one, you're going to, and this is not in any order, okay? It could, we don't know which order it'll be, but, I've listed them all. You could get a client, okay? And then, Betty, you will learn the client process, right? You'll learn, how we offer our mutual funds to people. So say I sit down with Chelsea, and Chelsea, I know you're a mother or two. Are you married, Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay. And what does your husband do?
He delivers packages, and he's also an online marketer.
Okay. So say Betty knows Chelsea from, their kids know each other, and we set up an appointment. I'll mute you. So say Chelsea and Betty know each other from, their kids know each other. And Betty says, hey, listen, I just started working with a company. I was wondering if you could help me. I need to witness a few presentations to get my certification. It's no cost, no obligation. We have all those scripts. It's the appointment setting training. That's week 1. And I sent that out to our chat a few weeks ago. I can resend it as well. The email scripts, the text message scripts, everything that you can say to Chelsea. You're just asking for a favor. Chelsea says yes. Betty and I go over them. Okay, we do it online, and I present. And I might ask some questions. I say, Chelsea, would you say it's important, not important, or very important to retire well? And then she says, I'm gonna unmute you, but if it's loud, then you can just give me a thumbs up or something. And I get it. I got 3 kids. So
We're okay right now. They just keep running around.
Would you say it's important, not important, or very important to retire well?
Very important.
And based on your current plan, what age will you retire? And answer like a client, like a normal client.
63.
Okay. And do you have a plan in writing for that, or is that kind of just like a hope or a wish?
Hope or wish.
Okay. But is that your ideal retirement age, 63, or that's just, are you hoping, or would you like to even retire before that?
It would be nice to retire before that.
Okay. So what is your ideal retirement age?
Preferably in my 40s.
As soon as possible. Okay. So if I could show you a plan to retire at least at 63, is that something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure.
And is retiring well important enough to you that you would set aside money every month?
Yes.
Okay. And if she says no, right, which is she's like, well, money's really tight. And I'll say, well, Chelsea, the only way you're going to have a retirement fund is if you fund it. If you spend everything now and don't save for retirement, it's not going to happen. So we have to prioritize some of the money and start small. We can start very small, as little as $50 a month to put for your retirement fund. So at least you have something, because something's better than nothing. You agree?
Yes, very much so.
And this is like a normal appointment. You always hear kids in the background. Like, this is normal. Like, and think about what we're doing. We're talking about money. We're talking about children. We're talking about kids' college. We're talking about debt. We're talking about home ownership. We're talking about insurance. And someone's there. Usually it's them and their husband, their spouse, their partner, and the kids are running around in the other room. It's real life. It's real life. So she says, yeah, I do. And then we come back with a proposal. Hey, you're $50 a month. This is what it'd be in retirement. Let's get started. She becomes a client. Or we say, hey, if something happens to you, would you want your family standard of living better, worse, or minimum stay the same? She says better. If something actually did happen to you, would your family standard be better, worse, or stay the same? I don't know. And then we get protection in place, or we start a college savings plan, and we do that through questions. It's professional. It's pleasant. It's inspirational. It's informative. They could also become a recruit from presenting. I present to Chelsea and I say, hey, Chelsea, now I know you said you wanted to retire at age 63, correct?
Yeah.
So there is a chance we could identify a shortfall. Do you know what a shortfall is?
Or you are short what your goal should be.
Right. That means that the amount that you put away is not enough to reach your retirement goal. Like, say you need $1,500 a month to put away, and you physically can only put away $500 a month. So that means you have $1,000 shortfall. Okay. So if we identify a shortfall, there's two things that could happen. We could either reduce your goals and dreams, and what I mean by that is instead of retiring at 63, maybe 73. Okay. Instead of putting all of your kids in college, you only get to put in one. Okay, so you got to choose your favorite, right? Or you could actually make more money. Which one do you prefer? To reduce your goals and dreams or earn more income?
Earn more income.
Okay. Now, currently you're working at, we'll just say the post office. Currently you're working as a teacher. If you went and talked to your company and tell them that, hey, you sat down with a financial planner and you need an extra $1,000 a month to hit your retirement goal, I know you guys care about me, so when can I expect that money? Would it come into your check?
No.
Do you have another way to make up your shortfall? Do you have another way to earn more income right now?
No.
Well, if I could just show you a way where you could make extra money, just extra money, doing your own thing, working your own schedule, flexible hours. It's not a normal part-time job. There's no commuting. Would you be interested?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to hear more about that.
And another thing that I do, I always do this. Say I'm talking to Chelsea. Chelsea, where was your last job?
At a pharmaceutical manufacturer.
Okay. And how long did you work there?
10 years.
10 years? You say 10 years?
Yep.
Did you love it?
Did in the beginning.
No, you didn't. You don't like it.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You didn't like your job?
After that long, no, they didn't appreciate us. So
What else did you not like about it?
having to wake up so early and be away from my family.
So you just want to spend more time with your kids.
Yeah, definitely.
That stupid thing called work schedule got in the way.
Oh yeah, there was no balance.
I always do this. I always, when I'm sitting down with people, even if I do it virtually, I always talk about their job because people hate their jobs. They hate them. Even people with good paying jobs don't like their jobs. They don't like going to work. They don't like leaving their family. They love Fridays. Now, I'm not saying people do what they need to do, but if someone hates their job or hates working for other people because it doesn't pay enough, they're overworked, underpaid, bosses, schedule, all that stuff, they're a great recruit. If I say to Chelsea, hey, how do you like your job? She's like, I love it. I don't even bring it up to become a recruit because they love their job. I'll ask her, then I might say extra money, I might say tax benefits, I might say things like that, but I'm not gonna. But if I plant a seed and I hear, you could hear it. That was genuine. Even though yes, we're doing an exercise for training, you could tell she didn't like her job. You could see it, you could feel it when she said they didn't treat me right. Waking up all early, long hours, leaving my family. I wish I could spend. You know how hard that is for people. I know we have a lot of women in our office, right? They have kids and they have to go back to their jobs 4 to 6 weeks later. They don't like that. We have an alternative. And remember what I always say. Write this down. We try to uncover problems. Okay? And if you uncover a problem, and we have a solution, they don't have to take your solution, but they still got the problem, right? You got high blood pressure, here's the medication. You don't have to take it, but you still got high blood pressure. You don't have to work with us, but you still got a job that you don't like, that doesn't pay enough, and you still have a shortfall. We don't say it like that. We're not, that's mean and nasty. We don't do that. This is just training, so I'm trying to illustrate how we, our strategy. We do it. We're nice, we're polite, we're professional, we're pleasant when we do it. But we have to find people with a certain level of dissatisfaction, with a gap between what they want and what they're making. It's very easy to do. Also, Betty knows Chelsea. Chelsea knows people that Betty doesn't know. She's going to give us referrals. We're going to say, Chelsea, we're going to build a great financial plan for you. And we're not going to charge any money. A plan like this would cost anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, or you have to have $100,000 to invest just to have this, okay? And here's a little history lesson, okay? But Primerica became a publicly traded company in 2010, okay? Before that, we were a division of Citigroup, okay? And I've been with this company for 17 years, a long time, okay? I haven't been here 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. 17 years I've been with this company. So when we first started, the CEO of our company was the CEO of Primerica and the CEO of another company called Smith Barney, Solomon Smith Barney. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. Primerica was Citigroup's marketing arm that we offered their products, all of Citigroup's products, to middle-income families. Smith Barney was their wealth management firm. They offered all the products to the wealthy people. So Primerica's account minimum was $50. Okay. Smith Barney's account minimum was $40,000. Smith, and this is back in the day, okay, now it's probably $100,000. Smith Barney would charge between $1,000 to $2,500 for the financial consultation. We didn't charge anything. And our software that we used to design the financial plan for the family was the exact same as Smith Barney. Think about that. We used the same exact Morningstar software. No difference. It's the exact same login, exact same software. So you have a marketing arm called Smith Barney that targets very affluent clients. And you have little old Primerica here working with moms and dads, like families like mine. Dad works for the government, mom runs a home daycare, and we have the same exact software, same exact plan. See, there was no difference in quality of the product that they're paying more for. They just overcharge. So we don't do that. And Chelsea is going to introduce us to people. And our goal is to get 5 to 10 referrals. Also, Betty's going to get trained. She's going to learn. And then the list might be someone we follow up with later. Someone says, hey, you know what? I really want to join your team, but now is just not a good time. I just had a baby. We're just moving. And they say no, but really no means not now. Or call me in 6 months or 12 months. Samir is my #1 earning RVP. It took me 11 months to recruit him. 11 months to recruit him. I would continue to follow up. Hey, is now a good time? Can I call you back in a month? And I would follow up with him. And then, yes, I was persistent 11 months. Think about it. He was a college student, broke, had debt. Now he makes over $300,000 a year. Has tons of money saved. He is living the dream financially. And he's only moving up. And I have stories like this for everybody. So the list is where it all begins. It's where it begins in your mind. Okay? The dullest pencil is sharper than the brightest mind. Always write stuff down. It's an exercise. The secret to success lies in the list. A list can literally change your life. You are one list away from an explosion. Our inventory is people. This is similar to the business owner checking their balance sheet every day. So what I would tell Betty, and like I'll tell all of you, don't shortcut this. Don't shortchange this. Really put a lot of effort. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. Okay. This is a part of the business that gave me anxiety. And like Betty said, okay, how are we going to contact them? Do I need permission? What are they going to say? Will they be interested? You're crawling before you're walking. I'm sorry, you're walking before you're crawling. First, put them down. Then we'll determine how we're going to reach them. Having endless places to go, okay? This is the #1 area that people in this business suck at. They are terrible at this. They think clients are going to fall out of the sky. It doesn't work like that. You got to become a creator. Now, I'm going to help you. Just like I helped Jacques. Jacques put a list down. He set the appointment. I did the work, right? This is called a credibility swap. Write this down. Credibility swap. I'll put it in the chat. Okay? Credibility swap. Your trainer has the ability. You have the credibility. If I'm training Betty, Betty knows Chelsea. I don't know Chelsea. If I call Chelsea, she's not going to answer my call because she doesn't know me, but she knows Betty. And if Betty says, I need some help, and she brings me, now we have an entry point. Now, the problem is Betty doesn't know the presentation. But if Betty watches me enough, she'll learn it. If she watches me enough, she'll develop the ability. That's where the credibility swaps. And then when we get referrals, Chelsea's going to give both Betty and I credibility because she's going to say, you need to talk to these people, which I'll explain how we do that. You must dig your well before you are thirsty. People don't emphasize this part of the business. They underestimate this part of the business. And you got to think like a farmer. How does a farmer think? They always reap what they sow. And they reap after they sow. That's why they plant. You don't have a harvest because you want to harvest. You have a harvest because you planted and nourished and fertilized and watered your harvest. And it all starts from the list. Most problems are really list problems. I don't have enough people to see. I don't have enough teammates. I need to make more money. People aren't saying yes. The origin of almost all problems is a small list. People do a bad job of building their list. Okay, so we are going to develop and list 3 different types of markets. Okay? So, Betty, what do you think the hot market is?
Markets.
Huh? What do you think the hot market is? Who do you think would be in your hot market?
Again.
Sorry, can you hear me? So your hot market is like people who are really like your brother, your sister, they're your immediate, like you can just go to their house and open the door, they don't care, right? You can just go in the back door, knock once and walk in. You know them on a first name basis, you're very close. Like Uzma's your hot market. Your best friends, your brothers, your people that you're very close with. That's your hot market, okay? Your hot market generally loves and cares about you. They will help you. They will do you a favor. They will listen to you. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not skeptical or worried for you or concerned for you. That doesn't mean that they're going to see this the same way you are. Look, I have 2 sisters, right? They don't do now, they listen to me. They both got their license. They're my clients, but they don't do the business like I do because they don't have the same dreams, goals, aspirations. So I'm not trying to, even my wife, right? My wife is a huge benefactor of this business, but my wife does not have the same goals in the business that I do. You know, my wife has a legal mind. She's a lawyer. She does a lot of the paperwork and the back end stuff. She does a lot of my administrative, because that's just the way her mind works. So I'm not saying that they have to see this just like you see it, but these are people that will help you. These are the people that give you referrals. These are the people that will listen to you. They'll help you and assist you with your training. That's where we start, is your hot market. Okay. Then we move to your warm market. Your warm markets are acquaintances, people that you kind of know. Neighbors that you know a little bit, people that you see every day at the gym. They're friendly, they smile with you. You have their number, you know what they do. They're a friend, but they're not your hot market. Okay? And most people, right, if you're on Facebook, how many contacts do you have on Facebook? I got 500. Well, then you probably have 500 warm market contacts at least. I have 3,700. You got 30. You know, how many people were at your wedding? You know, your hot market is, you know, if you got a flat tire and there was no Uber or AAA, you called somebody to help you, they'll come help you. That's your hot market. Your warm market is people that you know, you're friendly with, you haven't seen them, but you know, you always have something in common with them, that you went to college with, people that, you know, parents at your kids' soccer games or tennis matches, whatever it is that people do. And then you have your cold market. And your cold market is everybody else. Okay? Everybody else. Now, I want to be very clear. I have worked in all three markets. Okay? So it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. I've worked in all three. Okay? You know, I was telling Jacques, you know, the trainer that trained me, he trained me to do this business. And this is back in the early 2000s, 2003, 4. We do something called surveying. And we'd go meet the neighbors, right? He would teach me, you know, how to go and knock on somebody's door and run a survey. I learned it. I hated doing it. But I learned it and I said, you know what? I'm going to work in my warm market. I'm going to get referrals. I don't like this. He didn't mind it. And I've created a system where you don't have to worry about those things, because we don't do those things anymore. I've created a better system for you. And that's how it should be, right? My dad came to this country in the 1960s. I have it easier than he does. Why? Because people like him paved the way for people like me, first-generation immigrants. So I've done the same thing in Primerica